Hello everybody, this is Unreal-GamingHD, and I gotta be honest with you, this video is gonna be a little bit different compared to the others. It's just gonna be we're just gonna take the best moments, the most interesting moments of this race and put it into one, let's say, short video. This was 3 hours of Sebring Bump Pump Endurance series that we've done together with Philip, and it was pretty interesting race indeed. Okay, so stay tuned and see what's coming. So out of the box, this is just where we have stopped the clip, and this is actually the hot lap in the qualifying session, which gave us, I'm gonna tell you right now, P13 in the end. And I'm pretty, satisfied with the lap because it was my first 2-minute dead. Not actually low. It was like 2 minutes and 500 of a second, if I'm saying correctly, just 2:00.5. And yeah, at the moment you can see I'm about 0.7 seconds faster. In the end, it's not that bad. It's not that good because I did something wrong. I had to do adjustment here. So yeah, the previous lap to this one was, not that bad, 2:01.2, but the 2 dead point something was a lot better. Over the half, no, not even the half a second, I think, sadly. So it was just high to that, and yeah, I mean, I'm really satisfied. 45 drivers on the grid in this race. So yeah, the strength of field was 2150 if I'm correct, which is just my average. I'm the 1136 or something, so it was just the spot where I was happy to be. It was 3 splits, I believe, because there was over 100 drivers, and with 45 drivers in our split, it makes it 3 at least. So there you see it, 2 minutes and 800 of a second there. Let's get to the start. So here we are, located just before the last corner of Sebring, and when you consider there's 45 cars on the grid within a few seconds, and they're all waiting for green when you see the green flag and spotter calls it, it's pretty heavy. The car is in, and there we are. Pretty good start by me, but it usually means you're gonna get into loads of trouble. Let's see how we're going to be able to handle all the things happening there. Pretty close first corners, but everything is clean so far. I just have to make, of course, some adjustments to the guys ahead of me so I don't run into them. And we're pretty much through. On the relative, we can see we've started on P13 and now we're behind number 7, so it actually could mean that we're on the P8, which is 5 positions better compared to the start. Pretty close here, but we are equally fast. There is slight gap in front of us and behind us, which is pretty beneficial since you don't have to worry about braking that much. Isaac Olive there, getting closer to him actually. By the way, this is not live commentary, of course. This is just post commentary. We've been talking all the way. Oh, it was so tight there. I had to really go to the outside there not to hit him, and there he is on our right hand side. You can even check wheel cam for the side screen so you can see a little bit better what's happening there. Into the 3rd gear here, nicely around the bend, and yeah, this happened, guys. This just fucking happened. There isn't anything I could do. He just had better turning, or I don't know, he just didn't actually adjust his drive to the guys ahead. I couldn't do anything. I just had to let the whole thing happen, and yeah, this was really dirty by me. I didn't feel anything. I didn't get any incident, but I clearly T-boned him. So yeah, I mean, it was definitely my bad, but when I took a look at the relatives, it disappeared like there is no one else. So I put my eyes off the relative box and I continued. I don't know why it happened. I have just 15 cars max like on screen, so it just didn't give me this one in time, so I didn't see him. So I want to apologize, Daniel, if I screwed your race, because I think partly I did. He had some damage carried from the first corners, but still didn't mean to do that. If you're gonna report me, I'm absolutely fine with that, but trust me, there was no intention at all. So it was pretty much all happening in the first lap. I was dead last, 43rd out of 45 drivers. But yeah, so we will continue here with some action in terms of overtaking. I don't want to say back markers, but we have definitely the top 15 speed kind of thing with Philip. But yeah, you have to overtake back markers, or you know, you have to simply, you gotta dig through the field, which is not really easy because the slower guys use different lines, different braking points, just different driving style, and it's really hard to guess what they're going to do. I'm not saying they're bad drivers, just different driving styles. So this is the first position I've taken because I was like, I don't feel any serious damage in the car, so I'm not gonna be, you know, like, okay, let's quit, we're just dead last, there is nothing to do about it. I really believe we can move some positions. Not gonna tell you what was our finishing position. Of course, you can just rewind in YouTube and you will see how I, you know, proceed, because the relative box is pretty much on all the time throughout the race. Just to say, I've been driving 2 stints, the Philip was driving 1 stint, so I've been driving for 2 hours and Philip was driving for 1 hour. And I gotta say, we both did really great, really great. Even Philip said that there was nothing to do about the collision, that I wasn't really slow, I didn't do anything wrong there. So he just didn't adjust his drive to the guys in front and just contouring. It was the first lap. It was really aggressive move there. Okay, at this point, try to remember Eloy Garcia, the white AMG right in front of me. It was pretty much the only guy here that was kind of capable of maintaining my pace in the first hour of the race. And I really want to say thank you to the guys actually for the rest of the race, that there was nobody running into me or, you know, being anyhow really that dangerous. So it's such a pity that it happened on the first lap. If it was supposed to be happening, I'm pretty you know, satisfied with fact it happened on the lap number 1, because then you have loads of, you know, tactics going on, free hands, because you know what's happening in front of you, you're being spotted by a co-driver and all that. So we could actually adjust our tactics, fuel management, all that. But if it happened like 3 laps before or 3 laps to go, it would be a huge problem, because there is nothing to do in the last 3 laps. Plus, the most importantly, there was no serious damage to our car, just 2.4 seconds of optional repairs when we've been swapping drivers. That's the most important thing. Here we're kind of getting ready for the inside of Sasha. And you know, in this corner it's really tricky. It can drag you wide, you can get some bump, and you're gonna just oversteer, or you're gonna understeer on the exit. But it was pretty nice and clean from both. You know, all these guys around me, maintaining my pace was just in the same kind of troubles I had with Philip. So we was just trying to, you know, overtake the slower cars and get where we're supposed to be, or at least close to it. And this time, so you know, the first lap I've been 43rd if I'm correct, and now we are 30th, so it's already 13 positions up into the field. And all the guys that I've been racing, actually I have been able to run out of them, meaning that if I overtake someone, I don't really need to watch my back. I just, you know, drive straight through, nice and clean, and then I I'm just looking for the action in front of me, so I don't really need to check my rear mirror. So like, you know, is he gonna go inside, should I go defensive? So this really gives you the room to plan the strategy and try to guess where you're gonna be before you pit, judge the pace. As I said, the spoiler can tell you how is it in front of you, and most importantly, it was pretty clean race. I can tell you at the moment that we had 5 incidents total. Philip had 1 in his stint. In my first stint I had 4 incidents, which is the 2 for the touch in this particular corner, and then 2 off tracks. In my last stint, when I was pushing, I think a lot harder than here, I got none incidents. So we had the 3rd lowest amount of incidents throughout the whole field of 45 drivers, just to say. Yeah, this is just the last corner before we were swapping drivers. So me, the first stint, Philip, second stint. As you can see, I've skipped some kind of overtaking because it wasn't that interesting. However, we're on P18 at the moment, or P19, let's say. I just want to make sure there's 120 liters and all is gonna be nice and tight. There was no 15-second penalty. You know, Jesus God, approaching the pit lane. I'm gonna stand nice and still just before the lollipop, and we are swapping drivers. So I'm gonna get out and Philip is gonna get in. As simple as it. So it was P18, and we drove out just where we came in, let's say, and we're just 0.7 to the Eduardo Alvarez Rarte. I don't know how to pronounce it. However, it was straight fight for the position, and I'm not gonna do anything here from the Philip drive, not because it wasn't interesting. I really admire way he actually was able to halt with this guy, and they have been driving within 2 seconds to 0.5 seconds for a whole 1 hour. Philip saved a huge amount of fuel that made a huge difference in the strategy. So we were able to fill our tank just twice, and we had been able to finish the race with 360 liters total, with something a little left in our gas tank. So as you can see in this last corner, the Philip is still behind the guy I've been talking just few seconds before. The gap was just almost no gap at all. He was driving the AMG, and based on his spot in the pits, he was not really qualifying, I think, so he was digging the way through in the same way. Here it was the swapping of the drivers. I was just waiting for remove driver, or actually getting the race. At this point we didn't have enough fuel to finish the race as it was, but hell, we managed. At this point I'm just driving out of the pit, and you can see the gap to Sergio Medina is 4.5. The Sergio is the guy the Philip has been driving behind, actually his teammate driver. The Sergio was driving the first stint. The guy, I don't really remember his name, was driving the second stint, and now Sergio is driving the third stint. So the same strategy as we had with the Philip. I'm doing 2 stints, he is doing just 1, because I will be driving 12 hours of Sebring on 11th of March. So the gap is around 5 seconds. So let's see if I'm able to close the gap and take the position. Alrighty guys, at this point you can see I'm just 0.5 seconds to the Sergio, the guy on peak 12, and I'm trying for the position. The bad thing here is 2 slower guys lap down in front of us, just within the 3 seconds of them. Then there is number 3 overtaking me because I'm the guy lap down to him. But let's see what's gonna happen. The Sergio is trying to make the way through. He touches the grass there, and he just get punished by the lap down. It was really tricky position. I'm pretty, happy that I didn't really try to overtake him for no reason, because I would have been in the same position like he was, and I would lose all the momentum there. So the thing is, I didn't overtake him. He just crashed out a little with the guy a lap down, and now he has to fight with Sasha for that P13 at least. Otherwise he would drop to P14, but there was significant gaps to P15, so he didn't really have to worry if he didn't have enough or huge damage for his position in top 15 actually. So this is how I got into the P12. So starting here, this is the last lap, and try to guess what? I was able to reach P11 and 10 because they had to fuel save, but I didn't have to. We, especially Philip, saved a huge amount of fuel there, so we didn't have to do that. And this is the last lap. I've been like 5 seconds, 2 laps before this, away from them, but the amount of fuel they have to save was that enormous that it really let me to get to the both within the 2 seconds, and it was actually for me to chance get the top 10 after dropping to P43 in the first lap in our second endurance race with the Philip. This is the back straight here, and this is where they have to fuel save for some time, because on the straight, when you lift the gas, you don't consume any kind of fuel or not that huge amount, but in the corners it's not possible on the top speed. Here I'm trying to get on the inside, but he covers the inside, so I'm forced to do outside, but it's really tricky, as I said, into this last corner. I think there was a side touch, but anything can happen. Let's see the exit from the corner. I'm probably the fastest one. I have to avoid this one. He had to lift the gas totally, so I was able to get, for me and the Philip, 11th place in this endurance race. But the full name is Blancpain Endurance Series. And sadly, this guy just mixed me there, and I didn't have any chance to, you know, step on the gas the way I would usually do. But it was great race through and out. Yeah, I was hit. It could be all better. It could be easily top 10 if no issues were happening the way it did. But you know, you never know what's gonna happen. If I didn't crash, I could totally destroy my car later on. Nobody knows. I will never know that anyway. I'm not the, you know, future teller or whatever it's supposed to be called in English, but it was the P11. And you know, try to take a look at this overtaking. I mean, that was something. Look at that hit here. A little touch there. I'm really happy I didn't turn him around. It would give me definitely some instant points. I would crash his car. It would be, I mean, it was his mistake. He didn't really care for that inside, but look at that here. It was so tight there. So tight. Look at that. It was really close to be crashing into the pit wall or something. You understand? Like 2 seconds from the finish. Let's try to take a closer look from the different angle. I'll just need to change the angle, but look at that. You wouldn't fit a needle there. Not a chance. I know it's covered by the webcam, but wow. You imagine the distance. Okay guys, this was Unreal-GamingHD with this Blancpain Endurance series video. It was kind of different kind of video, since it's like, you know, I cut loads of things happening because it's originally 3 hours and 15 minutes long file. And I will hope I will see you all watching this stream, live stream, or the video afterwards on Lihium.com, Lihium YouTube channel for 12 Hours Sebring. We will take a place there for Lihium, but not really sure if it's gonna be just me and Danny, or Philip will join our companion. Let's see. Thank you for watching guys, and take care. Bye.